behavior which may be offensive to young children, vegetarians and General Motors shareholders. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, Mike, just give it that Ken Burns feeling, okay?
Okay. Flint, Michigan. 2 years after the release of Roger and Me. The decay, the desolation, 10,000 more jobs eliminated.
There are still stretches of Flint that look as if they've been hit by a neutron bomb. The businesses are standing, but the people are gone.
The recession, now a depression. And it's everywhere. Oh, wait, I can't. This isn't me.
Listen, that's okay, Michael. Let's just try a different approach. Just be more positive, more upbeat. Like this.
While some sectors are still sluggish, on the whole, a turnaround in the economy appears to be in the making.
I look at hard times and I make this vow. This will not stand.
Oh, I get it. Something peppy.
Yeah, come on, Mike. Think positive.
Okay.
Roger and Me, the controversial documentary that has generated more hype and controversy than many other movies, premiered last night in Flint, Michigan, the city where it all began. Flint, Michigan could have been Beverly Hills last night as the limos rolled up bringing the stars to the world premiere of Roger and Me.
Here is the movie a lot of people were waiting for. A raucous, angry, funny, unforgiving counterattack against corporate greed.
This is Flint, Michigan, and if you haven't been here, you're missing the whole industrial story of America's heartland. And your city is the subject of a film about which everybody is talking. It will no doubt be the most talked about movie of 1990.
We appreciate you. We love you, Michael, for making this film and telling our story.
He did it. I'm glad he did it. We're going to support you, and we are going to get 2020 here. We want prime time, NBC, ABC. You got to bring them here. Bring them to Flint.
The only way I'd do a sequel is if they combine the Batman sequel with the Roger and Me sequel.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you know, like Batman could come to Flint to save the town and
yeah.
dangle Roger Smith from the tower.
Now you're thinking like an executive again.
Yeah. We'd all end up building Batmobiles, you know.
Ashamed of yourself for laughing at the folks when you come out of the movie.
You should feel ashamed of yourself because it's people like you and Republican policies that you supported in the White House that did in towns like Flint, Michigan.
You think so? That's why
right.
We got 20 million new jobs created in the United States under Ronald Reagan.
20 million new jobs at McDonald's and Taco Bell.
Well, I don't tell you what. You can get Jimmy Carter and run him again.
Well...
Thank you very much, Michael.
Yeah, we need more alternatives in this country than Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan and Pat Buchanan.
Roger and Me, ein erschütterndes Dokument über die neue Arm.
C'est un documentaire, il est sensationnel, il s'appelle Roger et moi, c'est le premier film.
Now see, this is just amazing to me. This is really another version of the American dream.
Well, yeah, except this one's a reality.
Yeah.
You know. The response to Roger and Me was incredible, until I heard what Roger said.
And what do you think of that film?
I haven't seen it, but as they say, I'm not much for sick humor, and I don't like things that take advantage of poor people's problems.
Well, Roger soon retired from General Motors, but before he had time to bring his yacht out of dry dock, his successor, Robert Stemple, cut Roger's pension by $100,000 a year. Instead of enjoying the good life, he was forced to take a part-time job. How was he to survive? I decided to let bygones be bygones and give him a call.
Good afternoon, Mr. Smith's office.
Yes, is Roger there?
No, he is not. May I take a message?
Yes, this is Michael Moore. Roger and I were in a film together. You might have heard of it, Roger and Me.
Oh, he is out of the state. I don't expect him in for several weeks.
I read about his pension possibly, being cut.
You want to send him $100,000?
Yeah. Well, if that would help make things better, I'd be very happy to do that.
Michael, do you have a phone number?
Yes. I'm at 212-636-5108.
Okay, I'll give him your message.
I could feel the burden of guilt lifting from my soul. And as I got out my checkbook, I remembered those profound words from a Flint civic leader on the Donahue Show.
This is a damn good place. And if you didn't show it, you should have.
He was right. I flew back to Flint to await Roger's call. And when I arrived, I could see the president's point. The recession was over. 9 new Taco Bells had opened in the Flint area. The National Guard was fixing up some inner-city homes. Brightly colored banners had been hung on the main street. And car sales were up.
Big in trucks. Cars. That's right. Cars. All cars. Americans really it was here. Cars. We do big business.
My buddy, Ben Hamper, had gone from the mental clinic to becoming a national best-selling author and tennis semi-pro.
The nuns were wrong. Dating back to like first grade when they told us hell was 1 million degrees.
How hot is
it? I always thought, I don't know, but I'm praying it's 1 million degrees because nothing could survive. You know, if they said it was like 360, boy, that would hurt.
Right.
But 1 million degrees, I mean, you're just going to go up like a cinder and that's it. You know?
And the auditorium, which housed the now-defunct Star Theater, was still providing quality entertainment for the entire family. On the night I stopped by, a local hospital was holding a talent show. These are the hospital administrators doing the California Raisins. I was born at this hospital. Things haven't been the same since the nuns left. We were excited about the progress Flint was making, but when we stopped by to see the mayor, he didn't share our enthusiasm.
The mayor refused to give us an interview, but we were allowed to film his portrait.
The mayor wouldn't see us, but we knew who would. It was Steve.
Tourism is good. Tourism is continuing to grow. We've added new festivals. That's another part of what we do in tourism here is hold special events. And in fact, this summer we're going to have a 4th of July festival with national entertainment here in downtown Flint.
Oh, really? Who's coming in? You can't say?
They're in the process of booking the national talent right now.
With the national talent still to be booked and Auto World still closed, Steve was running out of ideas. It was then he told us about Frankenmuth.
Frankenmuth is a big part of our marketing program since they're Michigan's largest tourism destination and it's only 30 miles from our door. It's a Bavarian community that's world known for its chicken dinners. Frankenmuth has this old world charm to it. It's got a character of a Bavarian village, and that's the attraction.
At that table of 4, Lee Iacocca had dinner. It's kind of ironic. He's here, and now we had Lee Iacocca. And I ordered all white meat.
Back in Flint, a different kind of chicken dinner was being served in the soup kitchen.
The business is up here at the soup kitchen in the last several months. Yeah.
Why is that?
More people being laid off.
Everybody in Flint want to work. Don't nobody want to be in this place down here. But it ain't no choice. They don't want to steal. You know, you can't rob nothing because there ain't nothing to rob.
You couldn't get along on one meal a day if you had to, a meal like this.
It doesn't look pretty. Frankenmuth is about the only place that people can really go to really see things.
Deputy Fred had expanded his business from evictions to car repossessions. On this day, we found him overseeing an auction of cars he had acquired.
This is a slow month. NBD list. Yeah. See, that's NBDs. Each one.
And these are all vehicles that
all repossessed vehicles. All of it was on there.
People were not able to pay their loan or defaulted in some way.
They didn't pay the loan. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably another 10,000 jobs have been lost here since we made the movie.
Oh, a lot, probably more than that.
More than 10,000.
Can't sneak sneak up on anybody anymore. Everybody knows me these days.
So that, in that way, the movie's been bad for you. You've lost the ability to sneak up on them.
Well, I send somebody else when I figure I can't sneak up on you, so I can still get you. Don't matter.
What was that about?
Oh, this guy wrote, somebody bought a car and the check is kind of wobbly.
You can see the check moving.
You saw me holding it on the end, and it was jumping up and down.
Well, what happened to the people you evicted?
Once I put you out, I never know until you don't pay the next landlord. You don't pay the next landlord, I run into you again.
When Roger and Me was released, we gave each of the people Fred had evicted enough money to pay their rent for 2 years. Denona was laid off and has filed for bankruptcy, but she's still trying to purchase this house on Flint's north side. James Bond is engaged to be married and is still looking for odd jobs. Sabrina decided to leave Flint for good and is now living in Arkansas. Andriel never found the U-Haul, and in 1991, she was stabbed to death by her boyfriend. He was later acquitted. We next stopped at the ever-growing unemployment line, and yet, even here, we found a silver lining.
The employment in the unemployment office is up. We've experienced about a 25% increase over the last year and a half in our basic staff.
Alan Roberts.
In fact, we've been able to reemploy a number of people who were laid off from other state jobs. The unemployment rate for the city of Flint is 17.3%.
What do you think it really is?
My guess is another 3 to 5%.
Less jobs meant more crime and more business.
Mrs. Reed, I have had a holdup alarm at the Wilson residence on Stewart Avenue.
We supply a solution to a problem that exists out there, yes.
And what is that problem?
That problem is insecurity about the safety of people and their families in their homes.
And insecurity was good for business everywhere.
In the last 2 or 3 weeks, we have definitely seen an increase in sales since GM decided to close the plants.
What's your favorite gun?
My Mini 14.
Mini 14?
What's that?
We don't have one on the table. It's like...
When word got out about the layoffs, travel agents across America descended on Flint to book the flights out.
Life's too short not to travel.
Next gift will be another T-shirt from Apple Vacations.
With the recession, you still have people traveling. They have more time on their hands.
It's the long plane ride. It's why I've never gone to Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I got a cure for that.
Yeah. What do you do?
A couple of Valium, a couple of beers. Sleep the whole way.
That's the ticket.
That's all you got to do.
That is nice. If it's for a honey.
Right. So where are you from?
Frankenmuth.
Yeah, I mean, we just have the chicken dinners and, you know, a great time in June where we have the Bavarian Festival.
Janet, the Amway lady, was unhappy with Roger and Me and asked that we give her one more chance.
I'm glad to be able to clear my name. I feel like people who saw the first Roger and Me might have been confused as to who did my colors in the first place. The woman who did my colors right is the same woman who was hired by the city of Flint to sort of color analyze Flint. So what she did was she designed these banners here in colors that she felt would reflect the majority of the people, would appeal to the majority of the people who are usually winters or summers, the cool population. Yes, I think she's done an excellent job colorizing Flint. I think it's very appealing. It needs something to brighten it up, some colors added. It's pretty drab looking without the banners.
When we first saw this sign, we felt, that's our life with General Motors. First we're pets, then we're meat. We're on to the bunny lady, though, at Good News.
My neighbors call her Little Bunny Lady.
Your daddy calls her Bug.
Just Bug?
Just Bug.
Describe what life was like for you when the film first came out.
When the film first came out?
Yeah.
It was something. It was fabulous. But then it got to be reality. And it...
Meaning what?
Been rough.
What's happened?
What's happened?
Yeah.
I've been struggling to try and make ends meet.
But Rhonda was able to get a part-time job at the local Kmart.
This is my bankruptcy sheet that they give you at the bankruptcy court. You're on a computer when you're at the court.
And what is all this here?
This is all the bills that I owed, and they consolidated it all on paper.
Uh-huh.
And then they
pay
itemize it,
mm-hmm.
and they pay them a percentage each week, I guess, or each month. I'm not for sure exactly
What's this here?
These are my check stubs saying that I don't get paid.
From Kmart?
Yep. I work, but I don't get paid.
Your whole check
Yep, my whole paycheck goes
to this.
Yep.
To pay these bills.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All I get is it says 0, U.S. Bankruptcy Court, 0. They send them $65.80.
Mm-hmm.
Each week they send them a check.
So how are you getting by?
Very carefully. Like the other day I sold 2 rats and I put that money in the gas tank.
How much did you get for the rats?
$5.
Rhonda had discovered a brand new market, rats and mice as snake food.
My mice are 50 cents a piece for my mice. These little ones here are $1. They're $1 for 'em. And a snake that eats those size there is 2 foot long. That eats that size. It's 2 foot long. And the ones that eats this size are 4 or 5 foot long. Then when they get to be 15 and 20 foot long, they eat this size.
You mean the whole bunny rabbit?
Yes, the whole rabbit. This guy right here, that snake that Jamie's got, his snake will take it with no trouble at all.
Pet shops are wanting like $25 for a small rabbit, where I can get one from her for $8 or $10 a piece.
Why, you don't want to go watch it?
No, I am not gonna. I am not. Listen, you know, I got enough trouble with you clubbing that bunny in the movie. I am not going to go and watch a snake eat a rabbit whole.
So the 80s were bad for a few million people and a couple of bunnies. But what about those who did well? What about those who made sure there were fewer of us working harder and longer so they could have the good life and all of its comforts? True, there are more people out of work now than at any time since the Great Depression. We just have to make sure these jobless don't blame the rich for their difficulties. Better that they vent their anger on a real enemy.
The old Toyota didn't have a chance. The sledgehammer swung by union members smashed windows and hoods.
Our leaders went to Japan and told the Japanese to start designing worse cars so we can compete. The whole scene was enough to make our president sick. But he should have been feeling pretty good. I mean, the evil empire was gone. Or was he worried that these food lines in Moscow looked too much like these lines of unemployed in Chicago and all across America? Could capitalism collapse too? I shudder at the thought. Best to remember the good times and the stars of Roger and me who brought so much to our lives, like Bob Eubanks. He apologized for his joke and is still getting steady work.
With this, the Hollywood Christmas Parade.
Pat Boone had his best Easter Seals telethon ever, and more important, I got to hang out with his daughter, Debbie Boone. Miss America completed her successful reign and is now doing ads for the Advanced Dermatology Centers of Detroit. She hasn't been to Flint lately, but we still get visits from royalty, like Miss Makita, who appeared recently at 2 area lumber yards, representing the best in Japanese power tools. And me? Well, I'm off making my next movie, a lighthearted romp about the New World Order. But the high point of my life has been Vanna turning my letters and getting to meet Dr. Kevorkian, the suicide doctor. I just couldn't get him to let go of my hand. And Roger? Well, Roger never called me back. I still felt bad about that $100,000 he lost from his pension, so I decided the only decent thing to do was to make up the difference and send it to him in the mail. On second thought, nah.
It's my party and I'll cry if I want to, cry if I want to, cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Play on my records, keep dancing all night. All night, till Johnny's dancing with me. I've got no reason to smile. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to, cry if I want to, cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Judy and I just walking like a queen with her king. Oh, what a surprise. Judy's wearing his ring. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to, cry if I want to, cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to. You would cry too if it happened to. You would cry too if it happened to you.
Not only should General Motors reconsider what they're doing, I think Washington had better take a look at themselves. They're going to be mighty sorry that they haven't helped the person on the street. They're going to be mighty sorry.
Is that a threat?
No, they're just going to be mighty sorry. The common people are going to get... We're tired of these people. We're tired of these people. Just tired of them dogging us around.